Hello everyone, we have some very big news regarding the Criterion Collection. In particular, big news for collectors in the UK and in Europe, because Criterion are returning to the UK market, and not only that, they are returning with 4K releases. Finally, this is almost 2 years after 4K releases have been coming out in the US. Before we get into it, I want to know, what do you want to see Criterion releasing in the UK? What is top of your wish list based on the things that they have released in the US? Please let me know in a comment down below. For anyone outside of the UK listening to this, you might not think this is a big deal for you, but actually this has a rather large effect on Criterion as a whole. And I imagine that this new business deal, this new partnership with a new distributor here, is going to affect their own business in the US. But anyway, let's get caught up on the situation. A few months ago, it seemed like Criterion were going to stop releasing altogether in the UK. They had been distributed by Sony for the past 6 or 7 years. And to be honest, Sony didn't do the best job, particularly in terms of PR and marketing. We didn't even get formal announcements for the releases from Criterion here. We had to just look at pre-order links as soon as they went live on Amazon. There was also a weird pricing structure with all of the discs costing different amounts based on how much demand there was for each title. And the sales were irregular. And of course, we got no 4K discs. This is all about to change because Criterion are partnering with Spirit Entertainment. They are a distributor here in the UK, and I think this is going to be a good partnership. 2 titles have already been announced for UK release. The first one is After Hours on 4K, and there is a Blu-ray version. This is the US version, of course, which I imported. I talked about recently on the channel. It is a great disc and a great film, and this is coming out on October 9th here in the UK, and it is priced quite reasonably at $29.99, which is still a lot of money for one film, but that is less than what we have been paying to import these discs, so any importers will be thankful that they can save a few pennies getting the UK discs. The second title that is up for pre-order right now, coming out on my birthday, October 23rd, is the Todd Browning set that was recently announced with 3 films, namely including Freaks, which is the long-awaited release. I honestly never thought that Freaks would get a Blu-ray, and it's coming to the UK, which is great news because it means I don't have to import it. Again, I think this is priced quite reasonably at $39.99. You're getting 3 films in a box set for that price, and you would pay more than that to import it. All of these discs, aside from the 4K discs, will be Region B locked, which is not just good news for the UK, but I know that we have many people in the community that import from the UK to Europe and to other countries that are local to us. So it's good for them as well. They can pick these discs up cheaper than importing from the US. And you don't need a multi-region player to play them if you have a UK player. By the way, if you want to pre-order these discs right now, you can do. I'll include some links in the description of this video, and if you use those, it helps the channel at no additional cost to you. So I thank you for that. Now, I do have some questions which I'm going to try and reach out to Spirit Entertainment and ask them about these things. First of all, I want to know, how often are these releases going to be? I have to imagine they will be monthly releases going forward, but how many titles per month? Because they've announced 2 for October. Is it going to be 2 per month? How many of these are going to be 4K? Is there going to be 1 4K disc per month or more? Because as we know, in the US, Criterion can release as many as 6 or 7 titles in a month. So I'm hoping that this new partnership will kind of bring more releases per month. That would be great. Another question I have is in terms of pricing these discs. Are all of the 4Ks going to be that $29.99 price point? Hopefully that will be the case. What about normal Blu-ray discs, such as this one, Mouchette from Bresson? They haven't announced a single disc in a case like this yet. How much are these going to cost? That's what will be very interesting. I personally think £25 or around that is too high. I think if these were around the £20 mark, or if they could get it down to £18, which is what they used to be, that would be great. Failing that, what would be good is having regular sales, because it's no secret that Criterion's business model in the US is heavily based around these discount periods like the Barnes & Noble sale, the flash sale, etc. They make most of their revenue during those sale periods. So I have to wonder, how often are we going to get similar sales over here? Hopefully a few times a year, where we can pick up these titles at an even better rate. It will also be interesting to see what sort of licenses are available for Criterion and Spirit to release in the UK, because not everything is available. It's very competitive. Some rights are tied up with various different parties. So an announcement like Days of Heaven, which just got announced for a 4K in the US, is that likely or not? Because I know it's a Paramount title. I don't know what the situation is here in the UK. We've never even had a Days of Heaven Blu-ray in the UK. So yeah, it'll just be interesting to see what sort of things can be picked up. So the reality for collectors like us is that not everything is going to be released in the UK. So we're still going to have to import certain things. So those are just my quick thoughts, my initial thoughts on this news, this great news. Do let me know what you think in a comment below. And I'm sure that I'm going to be making many videos about Criterion in the UK very soon. Stick around on the channel and watch the video presented on screen right now. It's my entire Criterion collection, filmed last year, so maybe I'll do an update. But there's about 3 hours worth of me talking about each film in my collection. So do go and check that out. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.